Okay, I am super excited to be here with my friend Teri tonight, and her dog Gunner, who is squeaking in the background.
Sorry.
Her husband, who's rustling over the kitchen, I think. Teri and I somewhat randomly, met in an airport in Belize, and we found out we were headed to the same course on the same island together. And I got to know her and her husband, Kyle, which has been such a pleasure. But I really wanted to talk to Teri tonight because she has been using isogenics since 3 months before that time, so which is a few years now, and we got started for totally different reasons. As far as I'm concerned, Teri has always been slim and never looked like she needed to lose a pound. She has a very different background from me, and they had a very different reason for getting started, such as Kyle thought this would be a good business opportunity. Teri wasn't so convinced. So Teri, tell me about that box that first arrived at your house.
So, my husband Kyle had ordered the box. He ordered enough for both of us to get started. I totally supported him because he needed, there's Gunner in the background. He needed more mental clarity and just to sleep better and to kind of get the fog away. So I was totally okay with it. All I kept hearing about was how amazing these products were and they were so good for you and this can happen and that can happen. And I'm like, there's no freaking way that what comes in that stupid canister sitting there on the counter is as good as they said it was. So for 3 weeks it sat on the counter and I refused to touch it. All the while I was searching the internet to find out what was really wrong with it and what they weren't telling me. I couldn't find anything. And so I at that time was, making my own smoothies. I had to peel my own apples and pears and ginger and spinach or kale or whatever, every morning, which I even took on trips with me. And I can tell you, exploding green smoothies in an hotel room. I did that. Wasn't the best thing. So when I could just dump 2 scoops of protein powder in and it actually tastes good, I was pretty much hooked after that.
Nice. The convenience is pretty awesome.
Yes.
But I think a lot of people that I know would be like, okay, there's no way the nutritional content compares to, getting all that fresh, good stuff and making your own smoothies like you were doing. So, how did you give that up? I mean, it can't just be for the convenience.
Well, that's not completely true because the amount of protein that you get at that time, I was using the whey. I don't use the whey protein anymore. You don't get the same amount of protein out of half a cup of kale, which is what I was using, out of half of an apple, a couple of things of pear, a ginger. There's no way that you get the complete nutrient profile, the vitamins, the minerals, the amino acids, the protein content. You don't get complete chemical-free, pesticide-free. The quality of the nutrition is something you can't touch from a grocery store. Mm-hmm. So to me, that started to speak.
Which made me think of something, with all that stuff that you're putting in there, and if you're buying that from the grocery store, especially if you're buying anything organic, how did the price compare?
It wasn't any different. It probably saved us some money. I wasn't at that time buying organic because in my small little town, we couldn't get it. I think I could buy an organic apple and that was it. So I was eating a lot of chemicals through that.
Yeah. And I hear you mention that you don't have the whey anymore. So you're dairy free and gluten free?
Yes.
And how have you found that doing isogenics fits into a dairy free, gluten free lifestyle?
Super easy and amazingly. When we started, I was just gluten-free. So that in itself creates a lot of problems when you're trying to eat because there's so much hidden in our food, especially in the States. I don't know in Canada if everything's labeled the same, but you have to read labels like crazy. So when I had to go dairy-free, I had no idea what was safe for me to eat, especially eating out or on the road. So being able to have the shakes and the bars, which are completely dairy-free and gluten-free, All of the products are gluten-free except for one, I think, these days. There's no comparison to having that safety net of not being sick or not being so hungry that you just swing into a fast food joint because you're going to faint if you don't have something. I always have a bar or a shake with me at all times because it's easy.
All right. So love the convenience, love that it fits with your lifestyle and your diet. What results have you had from being on these products?
Well, it was strange. I didn't think I had really any weight to lose. I had a little bit of bloating just because changing your diet and cheating because I didn't know what to eat and I didn't know what was safe. I ate stuff I wasn't supposed to. So I would get a lot of bloat, and with endometriosis, what I have, it's exaggerated a lot in our bodies. At first, the first month, I didn't notice anything other than I felt fine. I mean, I felt good. Somewhere along the way, 13 pounds were gone. I don't know where they went. I don't know where they came from. I don't care because they're gone. So it ended up being right before my wedding. So I had to get my dress taken in quite a bit, but it was completely fine for me.
Nice. That's awesome. Did you have any results other than weight loss? Like, what other things have you noticed the products help you with?
The products have helped a lot. The ionics with the stress, mental state, I think that it really helps keep you level-headed. I've been a little hot-headed in my lifetime, and it's helped with that. No. The cleanse, now that I'm training for a half marathon, I just did a 15K yesterday. The cleanse has helped me a lot with just keeping myself healthy with all of the air and the water and everything that I'm doing with that.
Wow, good for you.
Yeah, the performance line. I mean, if you're an athlete of any kind, the performance line is fantastic. On top of the products, there's the personal development and the way that I have been able to change my life personally is something that I've never been around before. So my life's completely different from where it was 3 years ago.
And that's something I've experienced as well. I'd never done personal development, and this has changed everything.
I didn't have a clue what it was. Like, who really goes and works on themselves? But yeah.
Until we ended up in an island in Belize.
Right.
I mean, personal development can be so exotic.
Yeah. Send me back anytime.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you have any other, like, vegan, not vegan, but dairy-free, gluten-free quick tips? Otherwise, we'll call it a night.
Not really quick tips. I think that if you live this lifestyle, either one or combined, it's definitely worth taking a look, because the convenience, the cost effectiveness of it, for the quality of nutrition and what you get is uncomparable in a grocery store. So even though a lot of people say, well, I'm not going to drink my food, just drink the food, because it's amazing. Definitely worth taking a look.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Teri. I really appreciate your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Awesome.